Hey, what's going on, everybody? Enders here. In this video, I'm going to talk about my thoughts about the Battlefield 2042 beta. The good, the bad, the ugly, the unacceptable, and the potential it may hold. But before we get into that, I want to give a gigantic shout out to everyone that came out to the first beta stream. Not only did we break the highest average viewership record for my stream, we broke the highest viewer count ever, with peaking at 1,215 viewers with an average of 727. So you guys are absolutely out of this fucking world, and I seriously cannot thank you guys enough for that. That was absolutely amazing. We streamed the beta for, I think, about 14 hours. So yeah, put in a lot of time, and I got some pretty good impressions of it that we're going to go over in this video. As always, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button. Plan on putting out way more Battlefield 2042 content in the future. So let's get into my thoughts about the Battlefield 2042 beta. So let's get a few things out of the way here. Right off the bat, we all have to be real with ourselves here. This is an extremely rough beta. People are saying, oh, it's a 3-month-old build. Oh, it's this old. Listen, I honestly don't care. It's rough no matter how old it is, and if this game releases anywhere near in the state that it's in right now, EA stock is going to drop more than 7%, which it did today. But let's start with some of the good stuff. Right off the bat, I have to say that the gunplay is surprisingly excellent. And the only thing holding it back is the extremely spotty hit registration. Another thing that I quite enjoy about the beta is the movement. It's a bit clunky in some areas, like switching weapons. I'm not sure if you would classify that as movement, but switching weapons is a bit slow. There is some clunkiness when it comes to strafing, as there really is in all Battlefield games. Vaulting is a bit weird, but I don't actually notice getting stuck on things as much as I did in Battlefield 5 in this game. And the slide is good. Tac sprint is good. I think it's a good speed. You can tac sprint and then jump and then double bunny hop after, which is pretty good. It's pretty punishing after the second one, though, so I feel like it's pretty properly balanced. I would like to see a little more responsiveness in the overall strafing, but overall, I think if they smooth things over a bit, the movement is pretty good. It reminds me of Modern Warfare 2019 movement a lot, actually. I would say it's nearly identical in feel, except for drop shotting, and Modern Warfare's movement is smoother. Now, I already mentioned hit reg, but I'll mention it again. The hit registration, or hit reg, is extremely spotty, inconsistent. Like I said, it's really the only thing holding the gunplay back. I think if they can fix the hit reg, which I sure hope they can, because it's very inconsistent, and it really does ruin some gunfights. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this Battlefield has, in my opinion, the best gunplay ever. And people are complaining, you know, oh, where's the recoil? Honestly, I don't have a problem with this game's recoil amount. People are saying, oh, it's too low, oh, there's no recoil. I would take no recoil over Battlefield 5's recoil, which is completely random and uncontrollable. And I'll stand by that until my computer explodes. Would I be opposed to them increasing recoil? No, I wouldn't be opposed to them increasing recoil, but I don't have a problem with it as it is right now. Now, touching on another gigantic problem with the game, and this is probably one of the biggest problems with the entire game, mouse input is unacceptably bugged. Unacceptably bugged. I'll put a video here on the screen right now from one of my viewers and friends, Gaming Hog. He went ahead and tested to see if there was anything wrong with the Battlefield 2042's mouse input after he felt like, well, there was definitely an issue. And what he did was he went into Kovacs and he downloaded a program which he can replicate exact mouse movements in to test in Kovacs. And essentially what it does is you type a sensitivity in and it does that exact 360 distance. And for instance, he used the one that he had in Battlefield 2042, and what he did is he used the program in Kovacs, and then he used the program in Battlefield 2042, and found that Kovacs was exactly the same all the time, no matter what, and Battlefield 2042 was literally different every single time. And I cannot emphasize this enough. That is such an unacceptable, ridiculous problem to have in a game of this stature as Battlefield. I don't even want to talk about it because it just makes me so mad. So if that isn't fixed on release, these people are fucking out of their mind. Jumping to another topic, though, the map. So the map for this is Orbital, and this is apparently one of the quote-unquote medium-sized maps for this game. And not to toot my own horn here, but I was 100% correct in predicting that these maps would be even too big for 128 players. Like I said, I played this game for about 14 hours. I streamed it for all those 14 hours, so if you want to watch the VODs, you can on my Twitch. But I found when playing that there was little to no map flow, and infantry play was particularly boring at some points because of that lack of map flow and lack of rotation. Orbital itself lacks cover, particularly in the center of the map, which is quite literally a wide open, flat, concrete launch area. And I don't know about you, but listen, like, I understand the concept for the map, but it's not exactly a great map, you know? I feel as though this game, as well as this map, is just going to be absolutely vehicle dominated. And speaking of vehicle dominated, let's talk about the vehicles in Battlefield 2042. So I would say the majority of my playtime, maybe not the majority, maybe 50-50, I played infantry and then vehicles in the Battlefield 2042 beta so far. From what I've experienced and from what I've consulted with many other skilled players, is that jets are completely fucking worthless. I've spoken to like world-class competitive BF4 dogfighters, and they say that, you know, they can't even really aim in these things. They're that bad. Jets are pretty much unusable, and I would agree with them. They're very bad. The lock-ons are really the only viable option there. The attack helicopter is by far, and I'm sure you've seen in the background clips of this video already, the attack helicopter is by far the most effective and overpowered vehicle in the beta. It is so fucking insane. We're talking about unlimited ammo, 30mm cannon that you can seat switch in, but it doesn't even have an ammo count like in Battlefield 4. You know how you would have 30 bullets and then you would shoot all 30 and you had to reload? This is an overheat system. So you can technically shoot it unlimited amount of times if you actually plan your overheat cycle and mediate your shooting a lot. So they're definitely nerfing the attack helicopter. If the attack helicopter makes it in the game like this, I don't even know what they're doing over there.
Yeah,
moving on to the scout helicopter, though. The scout helicopter, the miniguns are not aiming at where you're actually aiming with the center. Because they're wing-mounted machine guns, you have to aim either to the left or right of where you're actually aiming to hit them. And that's just stupid, and they should change that. The Hydra rockets are very effective on the scout helicopter, and I would say in general the helicopter's movements are very odd. I would describe it as like almost weightless, with momentum that kind of comes out of nowhere. And it's funny because one of my friends, Focus BF, said he tried to land a helicopter, and I also tried to land a helicopter a couple times to repair it, and it's almost like Arma 3 landing, to where if you try to land a helicopter with any sort of speed, it instantaneously explodes. So I feel like there's some very bizarre physics going on with the helicopters, and I don't anticipate them staying the same, like I said. The transport vehicles are largely just transport vehicles. You know, they're not really that effective for doing much else than getting from point A to point B, and, you know, I don't really have a problem with that. The tanks are good. I would say the mouse input is really bad on the turret, especially considering the turret isn't like Battlefield 4's turret, to where it responds very well to mouse input. It's very sluggish and delayed, and you know, it simulates a real tank turret, which is like, oh, great, good. I don't like it at all, but the tanks are effective. But that being said, I didn't actually get much playtime in the tanks, considering that it wouldn't actually allow me to spawn in the tanks. I think this is an ongoing bug with the game currently. But overall, I would say vehicles are by far the most effective and efficient way to play the game right now, especially on these maps with their size. Moving on to FPS, I'm just going to get out of the way real quick. If you want to know about the FPS, I'll link a video. It should be on the screen right now. I made a video benchmarking my own computer. My computer, I'm not flexing here. I could sell my graphics card for $3,000, and I could probably sell my computer for $5,500 if I really wanted to. And I'm getting 100 FPS on Ultra and 140 FPS on all low. So if that doesn't tell you how poor the performance of this game is, even for a beta, I don't know what will. I feel for the people with bad computers, and all I have to say is go watch the YouTube video if you want to see that performance. The performance of this game is absolutely unacceptably terrible and awful, and I would not be surprised if people refund the game purely because of the performance. And I would extend that to console as well, because console is not running this game well at all. Speaking of something that isn't made or running well at all, the game's UI. This game's UI looks like it was drawn by a 5th grader. I hate it, and I'll explain why. It lacks basic quality of life features that other previous UIs had, such as minimap resizing, opacity scalers for objective icons, teammate icons, gadget icons, that sort of stuff. And that sort of stuff is absolutely essential, as far as I'm concerned, to Battlefield games. It's one of my favorite things about Battlefield games, actually, is the customizability of your UI. And that is simply not present in this game. As far as the scoring system, kill feed, and other aspects of the UI, I just don't like it. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. I don't really think it's that functionally great, and I don't really think it provides useful information the way it should. And I honestly think DICE knows that, and I think we're going to see some big UI changes. At least I would hope so. I definitely think the UI is bad enough to where it would be one of their priorities. Let's talk about the AI that was implemented into this game. So, all I really think about the AI is I don't really understand why they're in the game if this is a cross-play game. Because the console player base is absolutely gigantic, and I don't really see how it's possible that you can't fill lobbies with the PC and console player bases combined. I think when I was playing, I only had one full real player 128 player lobby, and that's kind of weird, but it is the early access beta, so maybe it's not working correctly, or maybe they're actually just that little people that pre-ordered the beta. I'm not entirely sure, but it doesn't really make much sense to me. The AI are kind of just annoying, because you'll be in a gunfight, and there's real people mixed in with fake people, and you obviously want to kill the real people first. But sometimes the AI kind of bot rushes you, and you're like, okay, I have to fucking kill this thing. And then, by that time, you've wasted ammo, and the real person kills you. It's like, it's just annoying. I would rather die to 2 real people. And also, I don't really find any satisfaction in killing a robot, because I can already see it now. I can already see comments on other people's videos and my videos going, nice bot clip, dude. Nice fucking AI clip, brother. Like, I don't want to kill AI, okay? Like, I want to kill real fucking people. Can we stop with that? One of the last things I wanted to mention was the feeling of the weapons. I'm not talking about the gunplay. I said the gunplay was excellent, and I stand by that. But the way the weapons feel, they kind of all feel the same as far as I'm concerned. The only one that really stands out for me is kind of the AK, and that's really because the AK has the most recoil out of them. Other than that, because they're so laser beamy, they all kind of feel the exact same. And that's honestly up to interpretation whether or not that's a positive or negative for you guys. But overall, I think looking at the scope of the 2042 beta, it is in absolutely insanely rough shape. I see the potential, though. I see the potential, but we've seen this fucking dog and pony show before where Battlefield 5, we saw potential, right? And then guess what happened with that game? So, do I have confidence in DICE to actually deliver this time around? No, I don't. I don't have confidence in DICE to deliver this time around, and I don't think I ever will until I'm proven so wrong that I'm forced to have some sort of confidence in them. And before I end the video, I want to talk about Portal, and I want to talk about Portal's importance to this game. Because of the 128 player gimmick, in my opinion, and the size of these maps, Portal is going to be absolutely essential for this game's survival, because it's going to allow people to play what they want to play, right? Say if the TDM modes are terrible in the base game, people are going to be allowed to make, you know, whatever they want within reason. You know, TDM on no shot canals, TDM on blah, 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 you know, smaller modes. It's going to allow people to play what they want. And I think that is insanely important for this game in particular, considering the base game offerings. And last but not least, the dog bot is unfortunately absolute dog shit. I know it's an absolutely devastating development. I broke into tears on my stream about it. I mean, it's just terrible, unfortunately. I don't know what they did to my boy Dogbot, but I mean, that's just F in the comments section. So, let me guys know what you think about the Battlefield 2042 beta. TLDR, I see potential. I don't believe DICE will realize it, though. Hopefully I'm proven wrong. I really do wish I wish I'm proven wrong, because I'm tired of Battlefield games being one of those things where they release and people go, oh, that's cool, and then they don't play it ever again, and they don't think about it ever again. And I think now is more important than ever to prevent that from happening in the Battlefield franchise. So, I've been Enders. I will see you guys in the next one. And remember, if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button. See ya.